Hello and welcome back to the channel. You join me here with what I wish I could say was a recent purchase. It's not. I've had this car a few months now and it's just sat abandoned, neglected and forgotten about. Uh, so this is a lovely Alfa 147 Turismo. It's 1.6 petrol, very low mileage, only 57,000 miles. It does want work. It is an Alfa Romeo at the end of the day. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a look around. We'll make a little list of what needs doing, and then hopefully, when I eventually get round to doing it, we can have a look at the finished product as well. Uh, it's a nice car. I like it. I haven't decided what to do with it. I do quite like it. I can't decide whether to keep it or whether to sell it. I do have a rough idea of what its value is. And let's be fair, they are becoming quite rare and desirable. So I can only see that value at least increasing. This could be a potential investment for the future. But at the end of the day, work is needed. It needs to be done. But can I get this old Italian car looking as sharp as a button and turn it into what I call a canny old rig? So as I said, this is a Alfa 147 Turismo. Really nice car. Cosmetically, it's decent enough. I have done a little bit of tinkering with this as well, as I'll probably explain to you go through. In terms of what it needs cosmetically, straight off the bat, somebody has tried a bit of a DIY job on the bumper there. A bit of an awkward spot. It's not ideal. I've just noticed as well, there's a little bit of rust starting to creep through by the badge as well. Somebody has had a go at doing stuff with it. And it kind of looks like somebody's tried to stick the badge on. It doesn't look very good. So I'll have to see what I can do. Potentially a new like complete badge, because they have made a hash of it. It kind of looks like it's been plasticky. They're plasticky, that plasticky spray paint stuff that they use, because it has been used on here as well. We are missing that bit of trim. That's not the end of the world, really. I will have to look into see if it's easy to get hold of. Maybe to get a pair and chuck this one in the bin. But at the end of the day, this isn't going to be a full restoration, so it's not going to be perfect. It does have the original Western Alfa Romeo number plates on, which is nice to see, with some knackered screws. I might look into seeing if I can get, there is a company on, we have an Instagram page that I follow that can remake your original number plate, so I might look into seeing what I can either do with them or just replace them. So straight off the bat, we're at least into a front bumper being painted. Down the side, quite a nice clean car. The alloy wheels do need refurbishing. This one's not too bad. We are missing a centre cap. I mean, like, if we're refurbishing the alloy wheels, you naturally put some new centre caps on. It does have the cloverleaf sticker on it, which this isn't a cloverleaf. What a cloverleaf is basically Alpha's version of a bath. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that will be on the GTA, which, I'll be honest, is a lot more of an expensive car. The GTA goes for around 12 grand, which this one definitely will not fetch. Down the side, again, nothing too major. The odd little tiny dinging. It's had a bit of a touching or a repair down here at some point. I mean, it's acceptable. Again, alloy wheel, it's starting to go a little bit. Not too bad. That tyre is cream cracking. Round the back, again, nice enough. There is this Italian flag that is obviously not original. I'm just hoping that it's not hiding any damage. That is quite a common old trick to use. The exhaust is in good condition. I could maybe just look into getting one of them aftermarket tips put on, because it kind of just, that exhaust tip coming out the back there, if I'll get you closer, and it doesn't really fill the space. There is a big old chasm, but there is a bit of trim that you can take off to have twin exit. There's an idea. Maybe if I keep it, maybe do a bit of something with the exhaust so we can get a twin exit. That could be one for the future. It's got my mind turning now. Getting down this side, a little bit dingy. There's the odd little ones of these. A few scratches on here. A lot of that I'll polish out. The car does need a bit of a buff in that. And again, a little bit of bubbling on these back arches, which you can tidy up. This wheel, this one's actually a really good wheel. But at the end of the day, I know what I'm wanting to do. That's just a bit of muck where it's being stood. It does have the aftermarket shark fin aerial on it. It's a bit mossy. I'm not a big fan of that. But I don't know what to do. At the end of the day, it works. It just doesn't look very nice. So I might look into potentially doing something with that, or I might just leave it. We'll just see how things go with the spending. But yeah, again, little bits here and there. This is probably the worst of the wheels. A little bit curved, a bit touched in, a lot of corrosion around that valve. This is the one that kind of swayed it for me to get the alloy wheels done. It really just let the car down. And I'll be honest, that tyre's looking a little bit cracked and things like that. So I might have to see what can be done. I might end up having to chuck some tyres on it as well. So that's good. I always like spending money on tyres. But yeah, it's a bit curved up and things like that. That around the valve and things like that. It's not very nice. But overall, I mean, we've got some scratches here, which you can see too. But overall, for the age of it, it's in really good nick. You tell somebody's at least tried to look after it. They've maybe just not had the skill set or the budget to do so, but they've tried their best to keep it right, which is the main thing. I did polish up this headlight. This headlight was shocking. So what I'll do, I took some pictures of it. I will bang them in now just so you can see the comparisons. So yeah, quite a big difference in that headlight. What else I have done to this car is, if we pop inside, it did have some stiff gears. It wouldn't find neutral, so I've took the selector linkage off the top of the gearbox apart, cleaned that up, greased it up, and it's now as smooth as silk. I've also had a radio cord, because this is the original radio. I wanted to try and keep it that way. Yeah, so it did need a radio cord, which I have sorted. So that's all working now. And other than that, I mean, like, if you want to be a bit picky, it didn't have a fuel cap. I put that one in there just so it didn't get water in it. That's actually a proper fuel cap for one of these. But in terms of inside, other than just needing a good old clean, mainly the carpets are a bit neglected, a nice set of tailored mats would look quite well in here. Uh, oh, it is quite a nice place to be for an old car. It's still got a bit of style about it. I kind of like all this up here where all the vents are just kind of singularly placed. You do have some cup holders. That one was a bit stuck, a bit of a spot to keep some bits and pieces like coins, some more incorrect cloverleaf stickers placed here, there, and everywhere. I'll be honest, I will probably keep these on because they don't actually spoil the look of the car. Normally, when people put stuff like this on, it does spoil the look. Uh, a big thing, really, that's my PDI check sheet, uh, which I'll get to in a minute. It doesn't have any history. It does have the owner's manual here, but don't have any sort of like service history with it, which is a real shame. It's even got a sunroof as well, and that actually works. So what have I got to do? Let's have a look. This is my PDI check sheet. So gear stiff, that's already been sorted. The number plate light and the side light, I've already done that. It obviously requires a service. Offside front wheel bearing, offside front drop link, front discs and pads, near side rear tyre, and then I've also got planned to stone chip the axle and the subframe as well. The subframe wasn't actually working when I got it. I think I was doing it wrong, uh, but I did. I have got that done. So I have chipped away at bits and pieces. So it's a really nice car. It's nothing special, which kind of makes me like it even more. I think if it was something that was a bit flash, I maybe just wouldn't like it so much because I'm just not that way inclined. I'm, I'm not an expensive sort of guy. I don't like flash things. I do kind of like the oddballs and the unspectacular, shall we say. I'll see if the battery's got enough life in it to pop the boot. Oh, no, it doesn't. But what we have in the boot as well, original parcel shelf, things like that. So it is a little bit of a project, yes. But I do think I can breathe some life back into it. We'll have a little look under the bonnet as well while we're here. It'd be rude not to. If I can find the doodad. Yeah, under the bonnet, it's got a recent battery on. It is a Lion battery. Let's be honest. For those of us in the know, we know Lion batteries weren't very good when they were new. But overall, it looks tidy enough. Coolant's nice and clean. I can't peek behind there to see what the belt's like. If it needs it, it needs it. It does have a little bit of a noisy clutch release bearing, but we'll have to look and see as to whether we can justify getting that done or not. It wasn't too bad when I got it, but it has got a little bit worse. So it could just be with it being stood. If it needs it, it needs it. I'll get it done. Uh, so what we'll do now is we'll reconvene when this thing is potentially done.
Several months later.
So a big day has finally arrived. The Alfa 147 is about done, at least to a point as to where I can get this video finished and get it advertised. It is looking as sharp as a button. I'm not going to lie to you, and I have spent quite excessively. That I have indeed. Not even quite sure as to how much, but it's a lot. Because the job needed to be done right, and this is one that was more for passion than anything. I am wanting to keep the car, but I can't keep them all, and this is going to be priced at a point as to where if you want it, come buy it. If not, I'm not going to be too upset about it because realistically, it's just going to keep going up in value until it gets to a certain point at least. But what we'll do is, it's a bit cold and a bit windy out there, so you'll have to forgive us. I have got my mic on. I have ordered a new mic as well, for hopefully my dodgy sound that I've been having a lot of trouble with lately will improve when that arrives. But for the time being, we'll have to live with what we've got. I know there's some channels out there that get more views than me that have poor quality sound, especially compared to mine. So what we'll do is I'll get it photographed and everything, then we'll wrap up our video, and we'll have a look around it, see how it looks, and we'll just drink it in. Right then, so we'll have to be quick on this one because, oh boy, is it freezing today. It looks nice and bright, but that wind has got to chill. I'm losing feeling in my fingers already. Oh my god, would you just look at this? How stunning does this car look now? Very subtle changes. There's a bit of rag or something stuck in the bumper. As you can see, the obvious one is the wheels. I had them refurbished. I didn't mention on my weekly that I had some IDs for the wheels. It was either the original silver, anthracite, or copper colour that I found on wheels. I decided in the end to go for the anthracite, and boy was that the right decision. Look at them wheels, they are stunning. I've even changed the centre caps to some black ones as well. New tyres on the front as well, new disc and pads on the front. It's had a ruck of other stuff as well, suspension bits, wheel bearing, stuff like that. It's also had a machine polish. It's had plenty done with it. It's had the front bumper painted. I don't know whether you can remember. You will probably remember better than me because it was not that long ago for you. It was all touched in round here where it had been scuffed up. Things like that. That's all being rectified. And then obviously, probably the biggest change that has been made, new grills. Obviously, this one had this bit of trim missing. And then this one, it was all plasti dipped, which just looked awful. And then this one had like a cheapy mesh grill on it. That's all been rectified, and just look at it. That there, them grills cost me about 100 quid. And I tell you, that is the best 100 quid I could have spent on this car. It's absolutely transformed it. Still got its original plates on. I just put some new screws in it. Gave them a bit of a buff up with the polisher, and they've come up really nice. The whole car itself has come up really nice. It wasn't a neglected car, but it was a car that somebody had been working to a budget on, and maybe it's their budget just didn't stretch far enough to kind of get the job done right, which is all well and good. We've all been there. Everybody's budget's different. Inside, not much has changed. I did decide to get rid of the cloverleaf stickers inside. Still got its original stereo in it. Overall, it was in lovely condition anyway. Even the sunroof works and everything. Everything works. New tailored mats for it. It looks as sharp as a button. In the back, again, it's just a really good example. The only thing that I'm not 100% on is that shark fin aerial. I'm not much of a fan of it, but I don't want to pull down the headline and risk damaging that. Go in the boot and have a look in there. Again, in really good condition. It always has been. Parcel shelf, a bit of a bugger to keep clean. It's actually, you can still see where there's some little marks on it, but nothing too major. I'll put my trade plate back in before I end up forgetting about that. I mean, if you wanted to be picky, it's a little bit of a scuff here that won't polish out. Very, very minor. Very minor indeed. The only, as I said, the only thing it's waiting on now is getting the timing belt done. Which will be getting done. I do have a Honda there at the minute getting the head gasket done. So hopefully that won't be too much longer. And this thing we can get finished off properly. Good look at it. The more and more I've worked on this car and got it looking as to how I want it, the more and more I fell in love with it, and the more and more I've wanted to keep it. Honestly, the wheels and the grille have just absolutely changed this car altogether. And have took it from just being a bit of tired old car and kind of elevated it to just being a really good example. I'm really happy with how this one's turned out. So, what do you think? I'm really pleased. I can't stop smiling when I look at this car. It is them just a couple of little subtle changes that I've made really, really have elevated the car. Um, Obviously, getting that bumper painted was a big part of it as well. That cost me 150 quid. He did a bit on the wing as well, where somebody had tried to polish the scratch out and burnt through the paint a little bit. So that cost me 150 quid. Got the wheels done. That cost me 200 quid. The centre caps, I think they only cost us like 20 quid off eBay. And then the grills, I think 100 to 110 quid. So them investments have been the biggest part of this car for me. They've absolutely just transformed how this car looks. As I said, it was just an old car when I got it, and I think I've really, really them little jobs that I've done have just made it a really good, very clean example that is worth good money, and they are worth good money nowadays. They are creeping up a bit. Uh, have a look on Auto Trader. I think what I'm going to price this at is probably a little bit low looking at the market for them on Auto Trader and on. I look across all the platforms really. On Facebook Marketplace, you can get them cheap. You can get them cheap for a reason. Auto Trader, the standard's a bit better that's advertised on there. You know, eBay's kind of a mixture of both. I've seen them with 100,000 mile on them for 2.5 grand. So this car will be going up for 2495 with the MOT done, timing belt done, service done, no advisories on it, the wheels and just everything about the car looking sharp as a button. And I think that is a very fair price. And given the car that probably owes me £2,000 to £2,100, you can't say fairer than that. I don't think I'm being overly greedy with it. It is priced at a point as to where if you want it, come and get it. If not, I have no problems whatsoever keeping this car, and I'll just potter around in it every now and then and try and keep the mileage low. And it's only going to keep on creeping up in value over time. I mean, it's gone up in value just in the time that I've owned it, and I bought this February, March time. It is now November. Uh, Originally, when I bought this car, it was going to be going up for 1795. So just by keeping hold of it, the price has crept up, which has then been able to justify me spending the money that I was going to spend on it anyway. And obviously, I was thinking about keeping it, and I still want to keep it, and I have no problems with keeping it. But you can only keep so many cars, and I have two other Italian cars that I have a tendency to ignore. So, and my wife wasn't very happy when I bought my Uno, so I had to turn around and say, "Look, I'll get rid of one of them." It wasn't going to be my Mark One Uno. I just bought the Mark Two Uno, so it was only ever going to be this one, wasn't it? I've never owned an Alfa before, and Jeremy Clarkson always said, if you're a true petrol head, you have to own an Alfa. And I'm glad I bought this one. From BCA for only £400, spent £600 getting it prepped for and ready for MOT. I could have done the work myself, but it would never have got done. I know it wouldn't have. It would have just kept on getting ignored. So there is that. And then the wheels and the paint and everything. It looks as sharp as a button. And I'll be truthful with you. If I've still got it in the summer, I'll probably look in to getting the aircon sorted as well. What I would love to do, is to raffle this car off for my subscribers and viewers. Excuse me, but unfortunately, I just don't have enough subscribers or viewers to justify doing that. So, but if you are a viewer of the channel and you do like the look of this car, you think I'd like to buy that, that's worth 2.5 grand all day long. Contact me on my Facebook page, drop us a message. Let's get a deal done. If not, it'll stay here with me, and I will just say to my wife, "Look, it's advertised for sale. Nobody wants to buy it." Can't force people to buy it, can I? Yeah, you'll see the advert on my Facebook page. So if you are interested, do not hesitate to get in touch with me. Uh, the price isn't going to be budging because, as I said, if somebody doesn't come and buy for what I'm asking for, it'll stay right where it is, in my possession, and I'm happy with that. But if you do like this sort of content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Helps out the channel massively. And as always, I will catch you on the next one.